Surprising, breaking, tragic news out of nowhere. One of my favorite metal singers just died. I thought it was quite a surprise. If people could stop dying, that would be nice. With that said, honest question. How is everybody doing? Because it has been a dramatic, rough, heavy week for some people with a soul. And I, for one, did find myself more affected by all of the recent events a lot more than I thought I would be. I had to really take time the other day to stop and decompress and being like, how do I feel as a human about having just seen 2 live public murders and, all this shit going on? It's kind of a lot. So if anyone else has been feeling that type of way, just feeling heavy, I strongly recommend taking time to yourself and just processing how you feel. I think it's an important question to ask. Are humans really meant to, moments after someone's murder, be able to see it repeatedly over and over again in close up on 4K? Kind of think not. If you're someone who's been feeling that type of way, I recommend taking time for yourself to really process how recent events have made you feel. All right, let's talk about the unfortunate, tragic, sudden passing of Tomas Lindberg from At the Gates. To my complete shock, out of nowhere, At the Gates posted Tomas Lindberg, 1972, 2025. Tomas passed away this morning following complications related to his ongoing cancer treatment. Despite intensive medical efforts, his life could not be saved. Tomas, you were an inspiration to us all, a true friend, both compassionate and sympathetic. You will always be remembered for your generosity and your creative spirit. You will be eternally missed forever in our hearts. And that fucking sucks. To say for me personally, this one really blows a lot when I kind of settle to think about it, because it was another one that was tragic, sudden, and young too. They only announced fairly recently how bad his cancer was, and I don't think they even said as bad as it was. They just said that he was going through it. For me, when I was starting with doing vocals, when I started practicing at all, I would practice the songs from Slaughter of the Soul like repeatedly until I eventually didn't suck, which took a while because I sucked. But right away when I started doing vocals, I felt more comfortable with the fries, the more higher pitched ones, and that's a lot more what he would do. And then the songs for At the Gates just spoke to me a lot more. Like, I love death metal, but melodic death metal, especially the Swedish sound, really grabbed me because I loved that it was melodic but never lost the intensity. So it felt intricate and, I don't know, created like a bigger kind of atmosphere to it while still being aggressive. You still wanted to mosh the whole time. His lyrics especially were inspiring for me. When I was learning vocals and teaching myself, I was going through a very hard time in life. It was a very depressing time of a lot of life changes happening, and the lyrics grabbed me more than typical death metal, kill, brutal, guts, gore. I liked the more like partially introspective, partially going over the darker aspects of the mind. Really, a lot of my lyrical inspiration comes from At the Gates type of stuff. What I write about is more similar to more At the Gates style than it is something gore, brutal, blah, which I like, I'm not trying to shit on, but yeah, man. So like I was playing them at Wacken in 2008 when they first came back. I remember that happening. And that live album is what I would listen to when I was practicing vocals. And I would do the first 3 songs especially. So hearing that first riff for Slaughter of the Soul and the go really got me like going. And it was like, all right, it's time to fucking have energy and go now. Yeah, man, it sucks. He was only 52, which is very young, obviously. Angela Gasso, another one of my biggest inspirations for vocals, commented saying my condolences to his family and his loved ones. His vocals had a profound impact on me. Such a good, friendly guy. And both of them had huge impact on me and my vocals. And then his lyric style, Vakken, Leaving Tributes, Kim Vox, Hellfest. That go changed my life. Rest in peace, Tomas, and thanks for all. Fuck cancer. I would prefer not to. It sounds gross. Cancer is retarded. I think we can all agree. He explored themes like moral decay, spiritual collapse, and the futility of violence, not as shock, but as reflection. Exactly. You worded that so much better than I could right now. Thank you. That is exactly what I tend to write lyrics about. I haven't put any lyrics of our songs live, but they're very similar in that type of state. I just rip off At the Gates songs, actually. All of our songs are At the Gates, just played backwards. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally joking. What kind of cancer? Wasn't it mouth? Something in his mouth or throat, I believe, because I wanted to reread his last statement he did recently. recently, now that we have obviously a lot more context to how serious it was. Tomas Lindberg's voice was the sound of reckoning. Good way to put it. Yeah, I saw At the Gates live a bunch of times, always fucking killed it. Saw him once with Lockup, and that was sick. Damn, younger than me, got friends and artists dropping off. Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. It's 52 is not old. Zero the Hero John says, I recall trading death metal bands I filmed for a grotesque shirt from him around 1989. Rest in peace. Damn, that's an epic story. I never got to meet him, but big inspiration for me and my music. I wanted to read his last statement that they posted a month ago. Jesus fucking Christ. Can good, young, innocent people stop dying suddenly, please? I would appreciate it. That is a personal request from the savior of metal. See, this was just a month ago. We got Flesh God saying hang in there, legend, because I didn't think it was anywhere near as serious as it turned out to be. Gary Holt said get well soon, brother. That fucking sucks. So yeah, I wanted to reread this. This was posted a month ago. We want to take a moment to update you on what's been happening with At the Gates, and to do so, we need to take you back about a year and a half. So he was suffering a long time. Below, you'll find a message from Tomas written this past March 2025, where he reflects on the past 15 months and the reasons for the radio silence. However, in early May, Tomas experienced a health setback. Since then, he has been hospitalized and has been receiving dedicated care in a specialized ward where he is being closely monitored around the clock. While this is a challenging time, we're staying positive, but even in the best case scenario, we know the recovery will take a long time. We kindly ask that you respect Tomas and his family's privacy during this period. We know how much the band and the music mean to him. Tomas is incredibly proud of the new At the Gates album we've been working on. We will try to get you more details on this upcoming release very soon. Thank you for your ongoing support, patience, and understanding. And then what Tomas directly said, this was his last message to the public and his final statement. Hello, everyone. I guess some of you may have been wondering why it has been so silent on the At the Gates front lately. Well, in December 2023, I was diagnosed with, don't know how to fully pronounce this, a cancer in the mouth and palate. Thank you for making that simple for me. And have since then gone through a lot. It has been a very tough year. First, there was a major surgery where they took away a big part of the roof of the mouth. This was followed by radiation therapy for 2 months, and ever since it has been a long, hard path towards recovery. Now, in the beginning of 2025, they have found some remains of the cancer, and it is inaccessible by surgery or radiation. So we will see what the next step is, but probably some form of chemotherapy to keep the cancer in check. Luckily, we recorded vocals for the demos for the new album before all of this happened. The last version of the vocals, the ones that will end up on the album, were recorded in one day, mostly one takes, the day before the surgery, just to make sure we had the album, so to speak. So the vocals were actually recorded before the rest of the album. A bit different, but it felt good to have it done. So it was important to him to make sure that he got the last At the Gates album done. Obviously, he knew this was way more serious and imminent than we did at the time. That is a hell of a person and a musician. We have now decided to not wait any longer to release this new album. We had first planned to wait with the release until we knew if/when I would be able to sing again, and we were able to support the release with shows. Now when everything about the future is a bit more unsure, it feels good to deliver this album. It is an album that we all are very proud of, and it's the first time in 10 years that Jonas and I have worked together with Anders writing an album's worth of music. It is a bit more of a return to the roots, probably best described as a mix between the two last albums we did with Anders, Slaughter of the Soul and At War with Reality. 2 fantastic albums. Hope you all will enjoy it. Please respect that we don't want to make a big thing about all of this, and that I won't be answering interviews concerning the cancer, the treatment, or the recovery. We just wanted this to be out in the open, as we wanted to explain to our fans why we have been quiet for such a long time. I hope you all are well. Take care of yourself, your loved ones, and the time you have on this earth. Tomas Lindberg, March 2025. What a fucking dude, making it a priority to finish the album before any of the music was done. Take out the fact of how serious his illness was. That's really hard to record a full album of vocals with no music yet. But shit, now obviously that album's gonna have a lot more meaning and impact to it. Yeah, what do you say? He obviously didn't want fans to be as freaked out or upset about it as the situation was. Dio did the same thing too. This reminded me of that just because Dio's cancer was really bad, and I think it was very soon before he died. He was telling people that things were looking good. Yeah, sucks balls. Rest in peace, Tomas. Huge influence on me and my vocals and writing. Let's see what comments say. Who the fuck is chopping onions? Stop it. We don't do that shit here. I met the At the Gates singer at a festival. I thought he was road crew. He always had a simple look to him too. That's what I always liked about it. He just got up on stage with his hat and his clothes. They look normal. I almost forgot that we almost lost Dave Mustaine to throat cancer. Yeah, that's true. Bruce Dickinson pulled through it. Chuck Billy had cancer too. I don't remember what kind it was, but Rob Hellfire said, I saw At the Gates live opening for Behemoth 2018. I completely forgot about that. Holy shit. I went to that show. Though I don't like At the Gates, still respect RIP Tomas. Fuck cancer. In the ass. With the giant moldy dildo. Anakin's anger management therapist says, I've always wanted to get into At the Gates, but I'm not an album person, but I know Slaughter of the Soul. Check out live footage. A good place to start is the Vakin 2008 video. Mildew dildo is worse. It stains the air worse. Ew. In an old shitty apartment with asbestos in the ceiling. That's how bad it is. Lindbergh was a poet of the abyss and a voice that will echo long after the amps fade. Rest in peace, poet. This dude is so good at describing At the Gates and Thomas right now. Shout out to Cole Bassett's left foot. Not the other one, just the left foot. Yeah, dude, sucks a lot. Rest in peace. Blast At the Gates as much as you possibly fucking can. For more from me, check out my band Dark Insanity. You can find our debut EP, Rabid Psychosis, available now on all streaming platforms. September 20th, we have the Bleed for the Cause show coming up. Enjoy some awesome death metal and wrestling, all for a good cause. And October 16th, we are playing with Carnivore AD at the Whiskey A Go-Go in Hollywood. Hit up me or the band for tickets. We've got Wyatt's Metal and Dark Insanity merch available now in my shop. We've also got hoodies, hats, buttons, stickers. We even have Dark Insanity weed bags. Link is in the description of this video. Anyway, that's it for now, and I'll see you in the next video.